Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Try Bonsai. It's your boy Banner, and today, my friends, woo, we continue to do the work that we have to do. Now, as all you know, in this bonsai thing, you always have work to do. So, we continuing with that work. So, my friends, as we go along trying to do the best that we can with the things that we have, I have two ironwood trees that I purchased from someone some time ago, right? And they came at a very, very, very reasonable price. And I was able to do some air layers on these two trees. And I never repotted them. I never changed the soil. I never do nothing. Nothing. I just took air layers off of the trees. So what we're gonna do is to look at the soil that they're in now, repot them because they're in some kind of containers. They are not in pots, they're in containers. You know, use what you have at home. That is what these plants in. So let's take a look at these plants and see what's the happenings now. What you say? Let me just go. So my friends, this is one of the ironwood trees. And let me bring you in so that you could see what it is I do and what we had to do. You check? Hold on. So this is the container that this tree has been living in for however how long. I collected this sometime last year, I believe. Or I bought this sometime last year, I believe. And I did an air layer here. If I'm not mistaken, I may have done two. There's two trees and I did a couple air layers as well. But I've never repotted them. So here, this one is in this container that is falling apart. Now the mistake that I've made is that in watering my plants, I did not set these two aside, so the soil is wet. But today, this afternoon is a bright and sunny afternoon, and we're getting to it. And before I move on, let me take the opportunity to wish a very pleasant, blissful, and encouraging Happy International Women's Day to all of the ladies out there. Big, small, young, old, it don't matter. Happy International Women's Day to you. All right? So, this is it. As I'm following it up, the air layer point, and you have a branch that growing backward, up back to the trunk. And then you have this, sorry for the bad camera work, you have this new shoot that is pretty strong. And you have another shoot off that has gone all the way out. So to give you a kind of scale, as I step back, you're seeing what is happening there. So my friends, I don't know what's happening with the roots. I know the plant is healthy. So let's put it into some good soil, into a nicer pot, and let's get with the developing of this as a bonsai in the future. What do you say? Yeah? All right. So my friends, as I mentioned, this pot is falling apart and the soil wet. So I'm going to do my very best to get this out, and as I squeeze in the sides, you see it breaking apart. It is breaking apart. So let's get this out and let me see what's happening with this root system. So my friends, it is out of the pot and we have some nice roots with some nice tips happening, you know, but as I said, and as you could see, sadly it is wet, so I had to work with this. I mean, I probably could have waited until tomorrow. Oh yes, it's already just think about them thing after you're done, start to frolic up already. But we in it already, so I'm gonna use a chopstick, or you know what? I'm gonna use the hose and I'm gonna spray this dirt off of this root ball as best as I can, and let's come back and see what we have happening here. Yeah? So I'll be right back. So my friends, I've washed the root ball and there are all, because of the container that it was in and the shape of the container, I have a lot of roots that are turning in on themselves, and whew, this, my friends, is going to be a pretty decent task to undertake, because what has to happen here is that I have to start this on its way to developing a pretty good root spread, radial root spread. And in order to do that, I'll have to do some drastic cuts. And I need to stop talking so slowly. I'll have to do some drastic cuts and make some decisions. Now, hoping that the decisions that I make do not take this plant's life, you know. But I have some decisions to make, and I'm seeing some roots that going wrong and wrong in circles and some dead bits. But if you look here, it has a nice spread happening here. So let's get to work in trying to figure out what we're doing with this root ball. So let me get out my tools and start a cut. So taking a page from Nigel Saunders' playbook, as it were, I need to develop or make up a mind as to where I want to start my root plane from. But I know for sure it have some stuff that I want to take off. And when I take them things off, I'll be able to see better where's the real happenings and what is going on with this tree.
It's feeling nice, like sugar and spice. Yes, it's feeling nice, like fire on ice. So come music, get inside me, hook me like a vice. Have me feeling nice, nice, nice.
So my friends, I washed it again to try and see if I could see a bit better what is happening. Now I must say the soil component wasn't that bad. It had a lot of we use gravel here, so it had a lot of gravel to encourage fine feeder roots. But because of the kind of a pot or container that it was in, it didn't encourage the roots to spread out this way. It encouraged them to grow this way. So I cannot, I don't think it is within better judgment to go overly drastic immediately. Now, as you notice, it's a lot lighter because I cut off the top completely, right? Because it was a bit hard to maneuver and I don't have anything to hold it up. But what I'm going to do, there are some roots here, some big roots here that tangled that I can't maneuver. What it also have happening, this looks like a good flare, right? Trunk flare. However, when you come to this side, if you watch under here, nothing. It has this big bulge on top here and then nothing under here. So I have a lot more decisions than I thought I had to make. And I'm going to remove these bulges because they were all parts or part of roots. So I'm going to remove those, and I want to take away, there are some very, very big roots, at least one or two of them that I want to move because they're stopping me from seeing the actual plant or what it is I have to work with. Hi. This is a lot more complicated, my friends, than I anticipated. I didn't anticipate this amount of complexity, to be quite honest. And I'm hoping that what I'm doing now doesn't I don't lose a plant because of it. But friends, yeah, where you, sir? I made a very big cut here, and this, all right, this has to be untangled to get out. And I mean, oh wow, wow. Patience. So these roots came out and they had nowhere to go. Absolutely positively nowhere to go. So what they did, they turned around. Yeah. So I'm going to make some pretty brash decisions. As you can see with that root gone, it kind of looking like a something. But at the same time too, it's looking like nothing really. Hey, yo, sir. Look at the length of this root. And the twists and the turns and the feeder roots are quite out on the end. Well, you're gonna make some. The These could be mistakes. This is already broken, so I'm going to take this. I have some roots on this side here, but I also have, what is this? This is a very big root, and I want to know where the end of this root is. The end of this root is here. Hi. What is this?
Together we go fall down on the ground.
Alright friends, so I would have taken a lot. I only really have roots on this side of the planting. I have one or two roots, but they're more so underneath, and I am hoping that we get something out in the back here. But as it stands right now, this is the supposed front, and I still have to leave, because if I take this off, this big root, then I have, oh my word. And this is one of two. So I'm going to do one today, and I'm going to do the other one tomorrow. Yeah, I started to make a cut here, and I did not finish making this cut. Let me finish making this cut. Wow. And this is not such a nice cut at all. At all, at all, at all. But I'm going with it. Hopefully this heals over and becomes something of a feature in future. I don't know. Because if really and truly the root plane is from here, right? If really and truly the root plane is from here, this is not much of a feature. So hopefully this heals over nicely. But it has such a big bulge here, a very ugly bulge here. So let's see how this goes. So as I said, my friends, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to put this into a pot. I was going to put it in something of a shallow-ish kind of a pot, but I'll put it in something a little bit deeper and hope that this generates more life and gives me more roots so that we can have better choices. So let's get to potting this up. Friends, I'm not going to put this in this pot, you know, because I want something with a little bit more room and a blocker to the bottom where the roots could go that way, whatever roots that coming out. A nice pot, but let me see if I have something shallower and wider. Hold a second. All right, my friends. So sometimes when in doubt, pick a different route. Haha, rhyming. So I'm going to use this as the pot for today, or for the next, for a while, sorry. As I try to, and hopefully I could breathe new life into this tree. And once I get new life into it, I could do some developing. Yeah? So I'm making sure that I get soil between these roots. Now this is a circular pot. At this stage, I am not so concerned about a front, although this is kind of a better front, you know. I don't know, my friends. Right now, I don't know. because it has a, as you can see, it has a curve and then it comes forward. Yeah. Let's just get this tree planted, and let's hope for a better system the next time we check this out. So it's all potted up. Time to soak it down. So my friends, let me just give you a bit of an update. So first we have the remember the Gemelina that we did for the carnival repotting. Look at this, my friends. A lot of nice little green, light green, all over. So let's keep the fingers crossed still, but we have some success happening with this, right? And right next to it, we have the triangularis. As you can see, new shoots all over. In some places that I don't want it to come out, you know. And let's go down in the pot. We're seeing roots, man. Crazy roots. Hey, we in it to win it. Then we have the Chinese hat, right? And you can see, yes, the birds in the back of me. The Chinese hat is doing well, you know, doing quite well. And a lot of updates. The ironwood that I recently, the ironwood air layer that I recently took off. Look at that, all you. What's happening here? Watch what it is happening here. A lot of new growth. Right? Not just any old growth, but good, strong growth happening all over the tree. So those are the most recent bodies of work that I did. Oh, how I go forget the styrax. Here's the styrax doing well. All the leaves are standing up. They're not drooping. So that is a good sign, you know. And they're not yellowing, and they are pretty much okay. So this is doing well, you know. Now, there was some time ago I did lantana that died, sadly. How it was extracted, it was too much on it, and that died. The no-name plant is all right. It's doing well. All the leaves are still green, and it's going still. And I am so very, very thankful for this. Now, lastly, in the updates, right next to where I was working, here is the ficus compactor. Now, if you remember, there were 3 plants in the pot. Something got into this pot and killed the smallest one first. Right? It killed the smallest one first. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I came outside and there were a lot of green leaves all over the place. And then the plant died. Then it started to attack the second one. So I made a cut, hoping that I could possibly save it. And clearly I did not. This has also died, sadly. Oh yes, so it does go, yes. But I have one here, and I moved it from where it was, because I don't know what it was in that corner. And this one is doing well. You're seeing a lot of new growth popping up all over, and let's see how that goes. Right next to it, I said one more update, but I given all the things. This is one of the air layers that I took off of the 2 Ironwood plants that I have to work on. I'm not sure which one of the plants this came off of, and this is another one of the air layers that I took off. You know, let me come in a little bit closer so you could see it. I would have shown this in a previous video. So these are the air layers off of those ironwood trees. But as you see, we have some work to do. So tomorrow when I get to the other plant, we're gonna have to do the same thing. And it could be a situation where, my friends, I kill 2 ironwood plants trying to better the root system, or I have started it off on its way to having this great radial root system that will be developed over time, because you know Rome wasn't built in a day, and we'll have a great plant in the future. Yeah. So, my friends, as you can see, I put 2 rocks in the planting to stabilize the plant or the tree or whatever you choose to call it. Right now, I took off this branch that is lying there on the ground, and I left this one little shoot here. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, let's see how this goes, my friends. And on that note, my friends, this is the end of this particular episode. As per usual, thank you so very much for supporting. Thank you for liking. I do encourage you to share this video with your friends and people who you know might be interested. If you have not subscribed as yet, please go ahead and subscribe and get people to join in the melee too, now. Let them come in like ice cream. You know, thank you. And as per usual, be good to yourself and be good to others. You know, treat people how you want to be treated. Something to think about. And remember, our planet, our climate is our responsibility. So, do something green today. Yeah? Alright, my friends. Take care. Bye.